This clip of the Texas Bucket List is brought to you by Spirit of Texas Bank and Slovacek Sausage.
Medic 40 and Squad 40.
Howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. You know, the state of Texas has got some of the best fire departments in the country. And down in San Antonio, they've been saving lives and preserving history for over 160 years. Now they have a place to honor a history of their own at the San Antonio Fire Museum. The city of San Antonio is rich in Lone Star State history. From Mission San Jose, the Riverwalk, and the Alamo, there are plenty of Texas treasures to appreciate on a visit. But one of the newer kids on the block pays homage to the incredible men and women who've helped keep one of the crown jewels of Texas safe over the years.
Been retired 10 years and 4 days now.
We met up with Bob Heckman, the president of the San Antonio Fire Museum Society and former firefighter who knows his numbers.
Yes, 30 years, 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day.
Oh, really?
But who's counting, right?
A veteran of the department, Bob helps pass on the history, tradition, and story of the San Antonio Fire Department. We start things off in 1854, when San Antonio's first volunteer fire department was formed by a few young men that called themselves the Ben Milam Company.
20 men, all they had was themselves and some buckets. And that was the first fire company in San Antonio. Not long after the fall of the Alamo.
Yeah. After just a few years in rapid growth, it didn't take long for the city to realize they needed more than a bucket brigade.
It wasn't until there was a fire on the other side of the river that they couldn't get to that they finally built another station.
In 1891, the city's fire department was officially organized, and in 1938, the station that now houses the San Antonio Fire Museum was built directly behind the Alamo. It served as the Central Fire headquarters for 75 years, and over that time, the department has grown like a wildfire.
Over 1,600 firefighters at 51 stations.
Speaking of big, the reason the museum is in this old building is because it could no longer house today's modern firefighting equipment.
As big as this station is, the new trucks wouldn't fit.
And that's why you'll find some classic fire trucks at this facility.
This is a 1951 Mack pumper that was originally owned by the city of Alamo Heights.
Some of them bring out the kid in all of us.
Every kid loves a fire truck. This is a 1927 American France. It actually started out in southern Pennsylvania. We had apparatus exactly like this. We got it. It was pretty much a rust bucket. We restored it, and we actually still use this in parades. You want to use the siren? Go ahead.
Do all museum visitors get to do this?
Yes,
oh,
they do.
This is just worth it right here. There are also all kinds of artifacts from over the years, and some that are from other departments around the world.
We have stuff that's been donated as people have brought it in from Germany. Helmets and nozzles and stuff that they bring, they come over here to visit, they bring it to us and we give them, some souvenirs that they find interesting.
So if you're wondering why Germans would have such a presence here, well, just think about the surrounding community. Back in the 1800s, Germans made up a lot of the population of San Antonio.
They talk about the United States being a melting pot. San Antonio was a melting pot. People came from all over the country. Hey, the climate's great. Had the river, close to Mexico. There were so many pluses for San Antonio, and there still is.
They even had a company full of folks from Deutschland.
All the names and everything at the bottom is in German, and that was the Turner Hook and Ladder Company, and it wasn't named after a guy named Turner. Turners were German athletes.
With so much history here, Bob gets a constant flow of visitors who visit to research a family relative or find out more about their family history.
There's a lot of people in San Antonio that have a relative, an ancestor that in 1860 was a volunteer, and the family knows that, but they've never seen a picture of him. We've got a lot of pictures dating back from the 1800s. We've had some come in and give us copies of say, a family diary. And they'll give us a name and we can find them. And we have found them.
Between its incredible history,
This was our training academy in the 1920s.
artifacts from the past,
This was an actual safety net that was part of the inventory of the San Antonio Fire Department.
and tribute to those who fought fires before the invention of the fire truck by simply using buckets, the San Antonio Fire Museum is a worthwhile stop on the Texas bucket list.
If you're a fire buff or interested in firefighting, you're going to love it. If you're just a historian, you're going to love it. If you're someone who just wants something to do for the day, this is a place to come.